Hello all, in today's session we are going to talk about the analysis of the half wave dipole. Now half wave length dipole or a simply half wave dipole is nothing but the antenna whose length is exactly equal to the lambda by 2. Now this antenna is also called as the Hertz antenna. The dipole antenna may be defined as the symmetrical antenna in which the two ends are at equal potentials relative to the midpoint. So it is one of the most commonly used antenna. If we see that the length of this antenna is nothing but the lambda by 2, and if you see the current distribution on this particular antenna, if I am saying that the length of the antenna is lambda by 2, then I can say this is nothing but the dipole antenna which is having here the lambda by 4 length, and here you will have a lambda by 4 nth. Okay, and this is nothing but the feed point of that particular antenna. And if we see the current distribution on this particular antenna, we can say that if this particular current is nothing but the lambda, here I'll have this complete distribution is nothing but the lambda. Here I can say this is nothing but the I. So here I'll have this kind of things is nothing but the lambda by 2, and here I'll have this kind of things is nothing but the lambda by 4. So if I talk about the current generated by this particular antenna, here I can say that this will generate the current like this and like this. So lambda by 4 will generate up to this and up to this. So this is nothing but the current distribution on your half wave dipole antenna. Now it is one of the most commonly used antenna because if you see the characteristics of antenna, if we see the radiation resistance of this antenna, that is nothing but the RR, which is nothing but the 73 ohm, which is this resistance is nothing but the close to the resistance, or you can say the impedance of your coaxial line or 75 ohm transmission line. So you can say which is nothing but the 75 ohm. So it is, you can say, easy for matching process. Okay, and this is nothing but how we have seen the current distribution on this particular lambda. So if I am talking about this antenna, the lambda by 2 antenna current distribution kind of things on this particular antenna is nothing but this one. So here I will say this is nothing but the z axis, this is nothing but the direction of the current, and I can say here the length of this particular lambda is nothing but the z is equal to, I will say this is plus h, z is equal to this, I can say the minus h. These are nothing but the feed points of the antenna or feed lines of the antenna, and the complete length here from here to here of this particular antenna will be L is equal to twice of h. Okay, so here I can say that this, whereas I am observing here, will be nothing but the observation point. So current distribution is from this direction, okay, where I am saying this z is equal to minus h over here, z is equal to plus h over here. This is the maximum current which I have obtained over here. So if I am saying here at z is equal to 0, this is the current, and if this is the distance point where I am observing the thing, I can say this particular distribution is like this. So here, and if this particular length will be considered as the d of z, this is nothing but the, I will denote it with something different. So this will be considered as a c z over here. Okay, so if you put the perpendicular from this particular, I can say, okay, so it's I0R, this is the R, which is nothing but the you can say the radius of that particular, or this, you say this is the observation point or a distance point over here. So here I can say this distribution of the current, how I am going to determine this particular distribution of the current on the dipole antenna. Here this, for this particular, this I0, I is equal to I0 sine of k h plus z. Okay, and here if I am interested in observing the current over here, so this will be I is equal to I0 sine of k h minus z. So this kind of the current distribution will be there on the half wave dipole. Now let us assume some of the things as we have already assumed in the previous antennas also. So we are having some assumptions over here. So let us see what are that assumptions in this particular case. So here the assumptions here for this particular antenna. So the first assumption is that the lambda by 2 antenna is placed in a coordinate system such that the dipole coincides with the z axis and the center of the dipole is at the origin. So you can say placed along with z axis with center of the dipole is at origin. So this is our first assumption. The second assumption is that the current is fade. You can say the current is fade at the center of dipole using transmission line. This is my second assumption. Let us assume third thing, the current on the dipole is sinusoidal. So we can say that our current is nothing but the I is equal to I0 sine k h minus z. So for 0 is less than equal to z less than equal to lambda by 4, or I can say I is equal to I0 sine of, you can say, kh plus z for you can say lambda minus lambda by 4 less than equal to z less than 0. ठीक है. So you can say this is nothing but the current distribution on the half wave dipole. If I am interested in calculating or analyzing this particular antenna, I can assume two more things. The fourth thing is nothing but the medium surrounding the antenna is air. So here medium which we are using is nothing but the air. So the fifth assumption here is nothing but the diameter of wire is very small. So I can say diameter of wire is very small as compared to the wavelength. So d is very less than lambda. So this is nothing but our first fifth assumption. Now let us analyze this antenna. So as we know how we are going to analyze the antenna, the first step here in analyzing the antenna is to find out the magnetic vector potential. So let us start with the magnetic vector potential. So here the step number 1 includes step 1 to find magnetic vector potential, which is nothing but the A bar. So we know how to find out the magnetic vector potential. So here the field due to the dipole can be easily obtained if we consider it as consisting the chain of Hertzian dipoles. So the magnetic vector potential P due to the differential length, that is dl is equal to dz of the dipole carrying current, can be calculated. dEz is equal to mu I dz divided by 4 pi r into e raised to j beta r. ठीक है. So where r is nothing but the distance between I dz and, you will write here, so r is nothing but the distance between I dz to distance point P. So this is nothing but how we are going to calculate the AZ. ठीक है. So when we add vector magnetic potential due to all differential elements present from z is equal to minus h to z is equal to h, we get the total vector magnetic potential at point P. So we can say we are going to add, ठीक है. So here add vector potential due to all differential elements present from z is equal to minus h to plus h. So the total magnetic vector potential at point P, I can say AZ is equal to minus h to h d of az, which is nothing but the minus h to h mu I dz 4 pi r e raised to minus j beta r. So we have put that value over there, and we can get here, we can say, the magnetic vector potential. The problem is solving this integral is that the current is not same over the length as we have seen in the Hertzian antenna. So we can see that how we can find out the current. So we can this expression can be divided into from z is equal to, so as current is not same, the expression from, we can say, z is equal to minus h to 0 is different, and you can say z is equal to 0 to h is different. So we can say that we split above integral. So we can say split above integral in these two parts we will get. So let us split this integral into the two parts, from minus h to 0 and from 0 to h. So here whenever I am splitting this particular integral into the two parts, I can get over here like this. So here I can say az is equal to, so az is equal to minus h to 0 mu I0 sin k h plus z divided by 4 pi r e raised to minus j k r dz, plus here I am writing phase constant either as a beta or as a k will be okay. So it will be from 0 to h mu I0 sin of k h minus z divided by 4 pi r e raised to minus j k r dz. So here I have splitted that particular equation into two integrals or two portions. So we can say that r minus r here, so r minus r is equal to z of cos theta, whereas r is equal to r minus z cos of theta. If your length of antenna is very smaller than antenna, so here what we are assuming that our observation point is far away from the antenna, so it is in the far field region. So if r is very greater than length, we may substitute r is equal to r. So in the denominator of az expression we can replace that particular thing over there. Okay, so for the phase term in the numerator of the equation, the difference between kr and kr is significant, so we can replace r by r minus z. So here we can replace, so we can replace r by r minus z. So here we can say that cos theta and not r. Okay, so here r, we can replace this with this particular, so r is equal to r minus z cos theta. So in the numerator, so I have replaced these things in the numerator, and in the denominator r is equal to r. So in the denominator, so these things I have done over there. Now next one is nothing but now I am putting all these things in the equation. Now let us see what my equation becomes right now. So here if I am putting all these things in the equation, my equation right now will become az is equal to mu I0 4 pi r integration minus h to 0 sin k h plus z e raised to minus jk r minus z cos theta dz. And the second split which we have used over there is nothing but the integration from 0 to h sin of k h minus z e raised to minus jk r minus z cos of theta dz. So here I have completed the integration part. So now let us calculate all these things further. So when you calculate all these things further, you will get this kind of thing. So here the output is equal to mu I0 e raised to j k r divided by 4 pi r h to 0 minus h to 0 sine of k h plus z e raised to plus j k z cos theta with respect to dz plus integration from 0 to h sine of k h minus z e raised to j k z cos of theta with respect to dz. So here I have written the equation over there. Now let us solve it further. So for lambda by 2, the length of the antenna, now as we are assuming our antenna is a lambda by 2, so for lambda by 2 dipole, the L is equal to 2h, which is nothing but the lambda by 2. So h I can say it is nothing but the lambda by 4. So let us put this the value of h. Now we know that this k is nothing but the phase constant. So when we are talking about the phase constant, it is nothing but the 2 pi by lambda. So let us replace that value with that. So using k is equal to 2 pi by lambda, which is nothing but the phase constant, will reduce above equation. Will solve this particular equation. Sine of k h plus z is equal to sine of kh plus kz is equal to sine of 2 pi by lambda, lambda by 4 plus kz. So solving it further, I'll get it sine of pi by 2 plus kz. So it is equal to cos of kz. So here when you are solving it, you will solve it similarly as you have solved it for h plus z, will similarly solve it for h minus z. So I can write here sine of k h minus z is equal to cos of kz. If you'll put all that things over there, you'll get this one. Now I'll reduce my equation, whatever I have got previously is equal to, so az here I will write az is equal to mu I0 e raised to j k r divided by 4 pi r, and the limits will be from minus h to 0 cos kz into a raised to j k z cos theta dz plus, I'll write the integration over here. Further integration is integration minus h, sorry, it will be 0 to h and cos of kz e raised to j k cos theta with respect to dz, and I'll complete this particular equation. So here now let us concentrate only on the first integration. So we know that minus h to 0, so let us solve it separately. So I'll concentrate on the first integration here. So I'll write the first integration like this. So first integration I'll get here. So first integration which I am going to get here is nothing but the minus h to 0 cos of kz e raised to jk cos of theta dz. Now replacing z by dummy variable minus z dash. So I am going to replace z is equal to minus z dash, dz will become minus dz dash. Now also limit instead of minus h to 0 changes to h to 0. Okay, so here this integral will become, so also I can say limits instead of minus h to 0, it changes h to 0. So thus the integral become if I want to write this integral again, I'll write this minus h to 0 cos of kz e raised to j kz cos theta dz is equal to h to 0 cos of minus kz dash e raised to minus jk z dash cos of theta minus dz dash. So I have written it completely. ठीक है. So further solving this particular equation, I'll get here this is equal to 0 to h cos of kz dash e raised to minus j kz dash cos of theta dz dash. So here I have got this particular equation. Now here again I am replacing the dummy variable z dash by z we get. Now here I can say I am replacing again z dash by z we get. So if I replace this one by z dash with the z, I'll get it minus h to 0 cos of kz e raised to jk cos theta dz, which will be equal right now is nothing but the, I'll write here 0 to h cos of kz e raised to minus jkz cos theta dz. So here I have written the equation here. Now putting the values, these values in above equation, I'll get az is equal to mu I0 e raised to minus jkr divided by 4 pi r. So it will be from 0 to h cos of kz e jk cos theta plus e raised to minus jk cos theta with respect to dz, and I'll complete this particular bracket. Now what we are having here in this particular equation, we have, I can say, e raised to j phi plus e raised to minus j phi is equal to 2 cos of phi. Then if I put all these things over there in the equation, I can write my equation az is equal to mu I0 e raised to minus jkr divided by 4 pi r integration from 0 to h cos of kz 2 cos kz cos of theta dz. Now using this identity further we can write here. So I can write using the identity 2 cos of alpha cos of beta is equal to cos of alpha minus beta plus cos of alpha plus beta. So if I have used this identity, if I write this particular equation further, I will get here. So here we can get, so az is equal to mu I0 e raised to jkr divided by 4 pi r 0 to h cos of kz 1 plus cos of theta, I can say, plus cos of kz 1 minus cos of theta right here with respect to dz. Now solving the integral, now we'll solve this particular integral putting h is equal to lambda by 4. So put h is equal to lambda by 4. I can write this equation as az is equal to mu I0 e raised to minus jkr 4 pi r sine of kz 1 plus cos of theta divided by k 1 plus cos of theta. Here I can write plus sine kz 1 minus cos of theta divided by k 1 minus cos of theta, whereas I put here h is equal to lambda by 4 and a 0. ठीक है. So here I have written the limits from lambda by 4 to the 0. Now which is nothing but the, if I equate this particular equation, this equation is equal to, I can say, mu I0 e raised to minus jkr divided by 4 pi kr. So further solving this equation, I can write the complete equation like this one. This is nothing but the, I'll write it down. So it's a huge equation. So it will be 1 minus cos of theta sine of kz, 1 plus cos of theta plus 1 plus cos of theta sine of kz, 1 minus cos of theta divided by 1 plus cos of theta, 1 minus cos of theta, and here the limits varies from 0 to lambda by 4, as our length is nothing but the lambda by 2. Now further solving and putting all these things in the equation, I'll get the final equation over here. It is nothing but the sine of kz 1 plus cos of theta is equal to sine of 2 pi by lambda into lambda by 4, 1 plus cos of theta is equal to, I can say, sine of pi by 2 plus pi by 2 cos of theta, which is nothing but the cos of pi by 2 cos of theta. Now also I can write here, so here I can write also my next equation, which is nothing but the sine of kz 1 minus cos of theta is equal to sine of pi by 2 minus pi by 2 cos of theta, which is nothing but the cos of pi by 2 cos of theta. So I have got this kind of things over there when solving that particular equation. Now here, when you put all that things in the equation, I'll get, therefore I can write the AZ is equal to, so if I write here, the AZ here is equal to mu I0, I write this equation further, e raised to minus jkr, so divided by, I'll write, so I can write here 4 pi kr, I can write here 1 minus cos of theta cos of pi by 2 cos of theta plus 1 plus cos of theta cos of pi by 2 cos of theta. There is 1 minus cos square theta. So this is nothing but the how I am going to solve this particular AZ equation. So further writing the things, I will get mu I0 e raised to minus jkr divided by 4 pi kr cos pi by 2 cos of theta 1 minus cos theta plus 1 plus cos of theta divided by sine square theta. Okay, so further solving I can compress this particular equation as follows. So I'll get here is equal to mu I0 e raised to minus jkr divided by 4 pi kr 2 cos pi by 2 cos theta sine square theta. So that is, you can write that is, this equation can be written like below. So here AZ is equal to mu I0 e raised to minus jkr divided by 2 pi kr cos of pi by 2 cos theta and sine square theta. So this is nothing but the equation for AZ, which now this is nothing but the required magnetic potential. So here we have find out the magnetic potential for, I can say, the half wave dipole. Now let us move towards the step number 2. Now we will see the step 2, that is nothing but the to obtain the magnetic field intensity, that is H bar. Now here we know that how we can get that particular magnetic field intensity. Del cross A bar is equal to B bar is equal to mu H bar. Now in the spherical coordinate system, we talk about the spherical coordinate system. So in the spherical coordinate system, we can write del cross A bar is equal to 1 upon r square sine theta, AR r A theta then r sine theta a phi, d by dr, d by d theta, and d by d phi. So on the next line you can write ar, r a theta, r sine theta a phi, so which is nothing but the mu h. Now we'll resolve this h in three direction, that is h r a r plus h theta a theta plus h5 a5, whereas you can say here ar, a theta and a phi, these are nothing but the three unit vectors in the direction of r, theta and phi. So here we will equate the things over there. We can say here ar is equal to, if you want to write ar is equal to az cos of theta. If I am going to find out what is the a theta will be minus az sine of theta, and we know that a5 is equal to 0. So here we have equated all the components. Now also you can note that the az is the function of r and theta, and that is, it is independent of the 5. Then every differentiation here, d by d5 is equal to 0. So this is nothing but, now we'll put all these values in the previous equation. We can get here, so I'll write the naive equation by putting whatever we have got out of this equation. So here I can write del cross a bar is equal to 1 upon r square sine theta. We'll write ar bar, r a theta, r sine theta, a phi bar, putting d by dr, d by d theta, this is 0, we know, ar, r a theta, and this will also be 0. Now let us equate this new kind of things. ठीक है, so this will become mu h r a r plus h theta a theta plus h phi a phi. Now expanding the determinant and comparing coefficients here we can get, so I can say expanding determinant and comparing coefficients. I can write another term over here, that is mu h phi is equal to 1 upon r square sine theta, r sine theta d by dr, r a theta minus d by d theta ar. Now I have got another term now, which is nothing but, now I'll write again this particular things is equal to 1 by r will get cancelled, d by dr minus r, I can write here a z sine of theta minus 1 upon r square d by d theta a z cos of theta. So here I can write all these things like this over there. Then now if I see the equation, after putting the value of az and differentiating, we can easily imagine that the first term here is inversely proportional to the r, and the second term which is inversely proportional to the r square. Now at larger distances, this second term, if I concentrate on this second term, will be very small as compared to the first term, and it can be neglected. So in practice we use the antenna to transmit over a large distances, so there is nothing wrong in making this approximation. So we can say neglect term 1 by r square. ठीक है, so if I am neglecting this term, my new equation will become mu h phi is equal to 1 by r d by dr minus r az sine of theta. So this is nothing but the mu h phi. Now as I have got a mu h phi, I can find out the h phi now. So let us see another equation over there. So the next, now here I can write is equal to 1 upon r d by dr minus r mu I square e raised to minus j kr divided by 2 pi kr cos pi by 2 cos of theta divided by sine square theta into sine theta and the bracket complete. Now let us solve this particular equation. So I can write here minus mu I0 2 pi kr cos pi by 2 cos of theta divided by sine of theta d by dr e raised to minus jkr. So further elaborating the things, I'll get this thing is nothing but the minus mu I0 2 pi kr cos pi by 2 cos of theta divided by sine of theta, then minus jk e raised to minus jkr. Now further solving this equation, I'll get is equal to, or I can say h5 is equal to j I0 2 pi r cos of pi by 2 cos of theta. I'll write here sine theta e raised to minus jkr. Now further, now taking mode of the both sides, let us say taking mod of both sides and noting that mod of e raised to minus jkr is equal to 1, we get. So if we write, or if you put this particular mod of e raised to jkr is equal to 1, we'll get further equation, which is nothing but then now I'll write new equation here as I have already calculated all the things over there. So here h5 is equal to I0 2 pi r cos pi by 2 cos of theta divided by sine of theta, which is ampere per meter. So unit is ampere per meter. As you know, this is nothing but the magnetic field intensity. So this is required magnetic field intensity expressed for the half wave dipole. Now let us move towards the step number 3. Now this step tells us that how to obtain the electric field intensity, that is E bar. Now we know that from the analysis of infinitesimal dipole that our far field distances are kr is greater than 1. So the W theta component in the power density expression for W is not required in the analysis. So only WR component is sufficient. Now how to obtain the WR component? This component is obtained by using E theta and H phi. So to obtain component WR, we need H phi component and E theta component. So we are not interested in ER component right now. So we are interested in what? H phi, and you can say the E theta component. Okay? So E theta component can be obtained by using the intrinsic impedance. So we know that E theta divided by H phi is equal to neta, which is nothing but the 120 pi. This is nothing but the free space. So this equation will be for free space. So how we are going to find out the E theta component? So E theta is equal to mod of E theta is equal to neta H phi. Okay, we have already obtained the H phi component. So here we can write 120 I0 2 pi r cos pi by 2 cos of theta sine of theta. Now this component can be written by using this equation, as I have written all these equations. So E theta can be written 60 pi divided by r cos pi by 2 cos of theta divided by sine of theta. So unit will be volts per meter. Okay, so this is nothing but how I can calculate the E theta. Now I have both the components, that is H phi and E theta. So here again I can go for the component, or I can go for the power, which is nothing but the WR. Okay, now here whenever we are talking about this particular H5 and E theta, notice that the radiation terms H phi E theta are in the time, phase and orthogonal. Okay, now let us move towards the step number 4 to obtain the radiation resistance RR. Now how we can find out the radiation resistance? Now we know that W average can be find out 1/2 RE E into H complex, which is nothing but the 1/2 RE E theta A theta into E theta complex divided by neta A5. ठीक है, and it, as we know that E theta is nothing but the NH phi, so we'll put all that things over there. So this will become 1 upon 2 neta E theta square AR bar, ठीक है, as we know that A theta into A5 will be AR component. So let us put all these things together. Now mathematical operation in the step above will be, now let what we can say, A is equal to x plus jy, then we can say A complex will be x minus jy. So A into A complex will be x plus jy, x minus jy, which will be x square plus y square, which is nothing but the A square. So let us put all these things over there in the equation. So I can say the value of E theta from the equation, we know that n is equal to, we know n theta is equal to 120 pi. So W average here, if I put all the values over there, 1 upon 2 neta 60 square I0 square R square cos square pi by 2 cos of theta divided by sine square theta AR. So here I have got the W average. Now let us solve it further. So by solving all these things further, I can write that things over there. So W average is equal to 15 I0 square divided by pi R square cos square pi by 2 cos of theta sine square theta AR W, or you can say the watts per meter square, and it is nothing but the radiation density. So here I can write all these things, or I can denote this particular thing in this way. So here if I am talking about this ds, or if this is nothing but the so if I am representing this particular things here, I can say this is my AR component, okay, this will be the theta, and this distance will be nothing but the R. So if I am talking about this incremental area, I'll write this incremental area ds bar is equal to R square sine theta d theta d5 into AR bar. So these things we have already seen when we have seen the things in the spherical coordinate system. So if I want to write the things in simplified way, I'll write this particular things like I need to find out the P radiated, or the radiated power, which is nothing but the surface integration of this radiation density over the incremental surface area. So if I put all that things over there in the equation, I'll integrate phi is from 0 to 2 pi, theta is from 0 to pi. So this will be I0 square pi R square cos square pi by 2 cos of theta divided by sine square theta into, you can say, AR. Now this ds, will put the value of ds over here, which is nothing but the R square sine theta d theta d5 AR. So this is all about how we are going for the radiated power. Now let us put all that things over there which we have already seen, and let us elaborate the things or solve this particular equation for radiated power. So I can write here P radiated is equal to 15 I0 square pi, phi varies from 0 to 2 pi, 0 to pi cos square pi by 2 cos of theta sine of theta d theta, ठीक है. So this is the equation which I have got. So this further solving 30 I0 square 0 to pi cos square pi by 2 cos theta sine theta with respect to d theta. Let us solve this again further. So here I have got my equation much simplified. So changing variables, now here to solve this integration I need to change the variables. So changing variables, u is equal to cos of theta, du will become minus sine of theta d theta, or d theta will become minus du by sine theta. Now as I have changed the limits, now I can say my limits here will be theta will tend to 0, u will tend to 1. So theta tends to pi by 2, u will tend to 0. So let us put all these things over there in my equation. So here my equation right now will become, therefore radiated power is equal to 60 I0 square 0 to 1 cos square 1 by 2 pi u divided by sine of theta minus du sine of theta. Now let us solve this integration further. So here this P radiated will become, here I can write P radiated is equal to 60 I0 square 0 to 1 cos square 1 by 2 pi u divided by sine square theta du is equal to 60 I0 square 0 to 1 cos square 1 half pi u divided by 1 minus u square with respect to du. Now here we can solve it for two limits. ठीक है, so 30 I0 square 0 to 1 cos square 1 half pi u. I can write here this 1 plus u du and 0 to 1 cos square pi u divided by 1 minus u with respect to du. So things are simplified now. We can have another term. So I0 square 0 to 1 sine square 1 half pi v divided by v. ठीक है, so as we have dv, so here plus 0, I can say 1 to 2 sine square 1 half pi v divided by, here also the term will be sine square with bv with respect to dv. ठीक है, so here you can see the change will be 1 plus u is nothing but the v, and that's why the things are changed. Now combining two integrals here, so if you combine the both integrals, I can write ठीक है, so P radiated here in this particular equation will be 30 I0 square 0 to 2 sine square 1 half pi v divided by v with respect to dv. Now changing variables here, so let us change the variables. So changing variables, w is equal to pi v, therefore dw will become pi dv, or you can say dv is equal to dw by pi. ठीक है, now limits v tends to 0, w tends to 0, v tends to 2, w tends to 2 pi. So I can write here P radiated is equal to 30 I0 square 0 to 2 pi sine square 1 half w divided by w by pi. So this will be dw by pi. ठीक है, so the next one is nothing but again I am going to find out the things by solving this equation. So here this will become 30 I0 square 0 to 2 pi sine square 1 half w divided by w with respect to dw. ठीक है, now using a trigonometry identity, so 2 sine square theta is equal to 1 minus cos of 2 theta. Now these things I'll put there. So using this trigonometry I can write P radiated is equal to 15 I0 square 0 to 2 pi 1 minus cos of w divided by w with respect to dw. ठीक है, now we have here cos of w is equal to 1 minus w square to exponential plus 4 minus w6 6 exponential plus W8, 8 exponential, and so on. Because, so here we can see 1 minus cos W divided by W will be W by 2 exponential minus W cube by 4 exponential plus W5 6 exponential minus W7 8 exponential and plus so on. Okay, so let us put all these things in the equation. So P radiated is equal to 15 I0 square 0 to 2 pi W by 2 exponential minus W3 by 4 exponential plus W5 6 exponential minus W7 8 exponential plus and so on with respect to dW. Now let us solve it further. So integrating term by term gives, now we need to integrate term by term. So integrating term by term, it will be P radiated is equal to 15 I0 square W square 2 exponential minus W4 or W raised to 4 exponential plus W raised to 6 exponential minus W raised to 8 exponential and plus so on. It's 0 to 2 pi. Okay, so this is nothing but how we are going to get the P radiated if we are going for further simplification. So let us integrate it term by term. So here I am putting P radiated is equal to 15 I square 2 pi square divided by 2 exponential minus 2 pi raised to 4 exponential plus 2 pi raised to 6 exponential minus 2 pi raised to 8 exponential and plus, and it will be from, we can say, already taken integration term by term. So this will become 36.56 I0 square. So here I can write here the P radiated is approximately equal to this 36.36 I0 square. Okay. Now next one is nothing but the power radiated can also be expressed in terms of the radiation resistance. So how we write the radiated power? P radiated is I RMS square RR, which is nothing but the I0 by root 2 square RR, 1/2 I0 square RR. So we can equate this both the things over there. So P radiated is equal to, you can say, 1/2 I0 square RR, which is 36.56 I0 square. Okay, so I0 square will get cancelled and 1/2 will come here. Okay, so 1/2 means 2 multiplied. So here I can write RR is equal to 73 ohm. So for this particular half wave dipole, radiation resistance will be 73 ohm as we have calculated. Now let us find out the input impedance of a dipole lambda by 2. Okay. So here the next thing which we are going to calculate for this half wave dipole is nothing but the input impedance. So input impedance of lambda by 2 dipole. So how to calculate the input impedance? Now we know, or we observe the current distribution on this antenna. We find the current is maximum at the feed point. So we know that I in is equal to I0. Now then equating input power with the radiated power, that is R in is equal to I0 I in square RR is equal to 1 square RR, which is nothing but the RR. So we can say that radiation resistance is equal to input resistance. So it is also assumed that that antenna is lossless. The loss resistance, we can say antenna is lossless, so RL will be 0. Okay. So input impedance of the antenna can be calculated by this. So input impedance of the antenna is, so how you are going to calculate the input impedance of such antenna? It will be Z in R in plus jx in. ठीक है. So here the reactance at the input, that is x in, is decided by the length of the antenna. So for L is equal to lambda by 2, the reactance is found to be 42.5. So you can say the reactance for L lambda by 2 is 42.5. So we'll put that value over there at the place of the reactance. So I can write here that Z in is equal to R in plus jx in. Now so I can write here this Z in is equal to 73 plus j 42.5. So this is nothing but the input impedance of the antenna of length lambda by 2. So if we decrease the length of the antenna, the reactive part also decreases. Okay, the radius of the wire also matters in this situation. So depending on the radius of the wire, the length of dipole for first resonance will be Zn is equal to Rin. It is about L is equal to 0.47 lambda or 0.48 lambda. The thinner the wire, the closer the length is to 0.48 lambda. So for thicker wire, a larger segment of the wire has to be removed from the lambda by 2 to achieve the resonance. Okay. So in the analysis of the lambda by 2 dipole, the diameter of wire, okay, so in the analysis of lambda by 2 dipole, the diameter of wire is assumed to be very small. ठीक है. So instead of L is equal to 0.5 lambda, if we use L is equal to 0.485 lambda, then we achieve Z in is equal to R in, which is nothing but the radiation resistance. ठीक है. So radiation pattern of lambda by 2 dipole. Now let us talk about the radiation pattern of this particular antenna. So radiation pattern of a lambda by 2 dipole. So we know that the electric field due to lambda by 2 dipole will be represented by E theta is equal to 60 I0 R cos of pi by 2 cos of theta sin of theta. So the maximum value of it is obtained. If I want a maximum value, so E theta max will be 60 I by R if this particular value will be 1. ठीक है. So the normalized value E theta n is equal to E theta divided by E theta max. So you can write here cos of pi by 2 cos of theta divided by sin of theta. ठीक है. So this is nothing but the normalized value. Now here, if now you can see here, this is the function of theta. For different values of theta, the plot must be obtained. So what we are going to, the E plane or the vertical pattern in phi is equal to 0. So first we'll talk about the E plane pattern and then we'll talk about the H plane pattern. ठीक है. So E plane pattern in phi is equal to 0, how we can get this particular. So for E plane pattern, here you can see where you are getting the phi is equal to 0, your radiation pattern will look like this. ठीक है. So this is nothing but the radiation pattern and this is nothing but the your antenna of length lambda by 2. So I can say phi is equal to 0 plane, this axis will be Z axis and this will be the X, and this I can say my antenna, which is nothing but the lambda by 2 dipole. So this is E plane pattern. Now let us talk about the H plane pattern. Okay, so how we are going to obtain the H plane pattern over here? So if I talk about the H plane pattern, H plane, or you can say vertical pattern, sorry, this will be the vertical pattern, it will be the H plane, or you can say the horizontal pattern if you put theta is equal to pi by 2. Okay, so here we can say E theta n for this particular equation will be, or for this particular condition will be 1. So here with here, which is a circle of radius n, so you can say the plot can be obtained here. If I talk about this particular pattern, I'll get the pattern here like this kind of things. So if I draw this pattern, I'll get this kind of the pattern over there. So this will be the y-axis, this will be the x-axis, and I can say this is my lambda by 2 dipole. Okay, and theta will be pi by 2 plane. Okay, so this is nothing but how we are getting this plot. Now this is the plot is shown in this particular. So if I combine both the plots, okay, I'll get a 3-dimensional pattern. So I have got this plot, this plot. So let us plot 3D plot here. So combination of this 3 is nothing but the 3D plot. So first, second, and I can say this one is nothing but the third 3D plot. Okay, so here if I plot this particular 3D plot, which is the combination of both of these plots, I'll get this plot is like this. So I'm placing my antenna over here. I can say this is my antenna. Okay, or I'll say this is my complete antenna. So my pattern will be like this, and the combination of these two is nothing but this one. Okay, so this is my donut shape pattern. So this I can say is nothing but the 3D plot. Okay, so this is all about the plots or the radiation patterns of an antenna, whereas we have seen the E plane pattern, we have seen the H plane pattern, and this is the last one is nothing but the 3D plot. Now let us talk about the directivity of the lambda by 2 antenna. So here directivity, I can say right here, directivity of a lambda by 2 dipole. So how we can find out the directivity of lambda by 2? So as we know that directivity D0 is equal to 4 pi u max divided by P radiated, and we have seen the significance of each and every term which we are using over here. So u max is the maximum radiation intensity. So I'll again write here u max, maximum radiation intensity, and the unit of this is nothing but the watt plus the radian. P radiated is nothing but the radiated power or power radiated. So I can, and the unit will be the watts over here. Now how I can obtain the u max over here, which is nothing but the, now to obtain the u max, I know that how I am going to get the u max. To find out the u max, I need to understand what is the W average. Okay, so 15 I0 square divided by pi r square cos square pi by 2 cos of theta divided by sine square theta. Okay, so this is nothing but the W average. So the here radiation intensity is related with the W average. So U is equal to R square W average. Now I can write here 15 I0 square pi cos square pi by 2 cos of theta divided by sine square theta. Now to obtain the maximum value of U, so here I am going to find out the maximum value of U max. Here I will write the things here, or I can say I'll get the maximum value of U. So I'll write here, so maximum value of U when theta is equal to pi by 2. So U max here is equal to 15 I0 square divided by pi. So this is the maximum radiation intensity. So here I have got the maximum radiation intensity. Now how I can calculate the P radiated? So here, to obtain P radiated, we have already obtained, that is P radiated is equal to 36.56 I0 square. Okay. So this is approximate value, so I can write here this one. Now the next one is nothing but the D0. Now how I know Umax, I know radiated power, so I can write to obtain D0. So here I'll write this D0 is equal to 4 pi 15 I0 square divided by pi, and you can write divided by 36 by 56 I0, which is P radiated, and this value will be 1.643. So I can say the directivity of the half wave dipole, how we are calculating here. So D0 is equal to 1.643. So here we have finished the analysis of half wave dipole. ठीक है, so thank you.